Welcome back to A Couple Things podcast with Juju and Des. We missed last week, or I don't know, we missed a week because my dad actually came into town and I don't get to see him very often because he lives in Chicago. So I really just wanted to spend as much time with him as I could and enjoy it and kind of like unwind, which I think is good to get that time to just relax and not think about what's going on in the outside world.
Yeah, we were definitely vibing. Her dad, anytime he comes into town, it's always like a helping hand. Like anything that we need done, he is the handyman and he can get it done. So it's always like, it's nice when he comes into town.
Yeah, it's good vibes. Like Julie said, I always put him to work. So he put up like our kitchen handles and literally I always just get him to work. I'm like, okay, I need you to do this, this, and this, and this. It's so funny. I actually have a really good relationship with my dad. I was even saying this today. Like most people have some type of, I know there's like a term daddy issues that a lot of people have some. And I feel like I literally don't have any issues at all with my dad. Like I love him so much. I even have more issues with my mom than I do with my dad. Obviously I love him both, like, but
you and your dad have like a crazy good bond, like a father and daughter bond. That's just like, you guys are goofy together. You guys play around a lot, as well as like he'll ask you for advice and he'll take your advice as well as you know what I'm saying? So I think that's dope. You guys got like a cool relationship.
Yeah, and you and my dad get along as well.
Yeah, her dad is cool. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this room that we're in right now is actually our movie, well, it was supposed to be our movie room. Now it's more of like our podcast room. But we painted this whole entire room. Like, this room was white before it was black. So, you know what I'm saying? We painted this room black, and yeah, like, you know, every time he comes through, he always teaches me like new things about like building or like putting things together and stuff. So it's cool. It's dope.
Yeah, honestly, it was always super important for me. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but like growing up, I always wanted a partner that like got along with my dad and could have like a good relationship with him. And so I'm glad that you guys do.
Yeah, well, we locked in, baby. So you already know. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's really what we've been doing. We've been having family in town, and we've been just honestly trying to get our house all situated. Like,
finally.
Yeah, we finally are getting it cozy and comfortable. We got like some new decorations and stuff. If you guys go subscribe to our main YouTube channel, Juju and Des, you guys will probably be seeing a furnished house tour pretty soon. I don't know exactly when, but pretty soon.
Yeah, but you just talking about this podcast room just made me realize we have so many rooms in this house that we don't have together yet. Like even this room right now, like, oh my gosh, you guys do not want to see what we're looking at. It's kind of a disaster.
It's a super
We still need to get this together and figure out how we want it, because I don't feel like we're using the space as best as we could. We don't need the entire room for our podcast, because this is a huge room. Like we could definitely make it a halvesies situation. We have other rooms that we don't even walk into.
Literally, like honestly, there's a room in our house that probably we go in once a month, and that's just to put something in there.
Yeah. Or no, now I've been storing our vacuum in there.
Yeah, like literally, like there's like an air mattress that's blown up in there, and it just stays in there. So we got to really start getting our house situated, you know? And there's actually been like a big change in my thoughts about Texas, and Destiny,
shift in his mindset.
Yeah, Destiny,
we're gonna talk about
is not for it at all. She's been kind of on my head lately because of my like just opinions and stuff like that about Texas.
No, I'm always welcome to your opinions.
She's been on my koofy. I ain't even gonna lie.
Okay, we're gonna get into it, and we're gonna be honest, and we're gonna fully even talk to each other about it.
I want to get into this first, because this is something that I've been thinking about honestly every single day lately since I've been waking up, and I've been trying to, you know, figure out the pros and the cons and all that stuff. And yeah, so let's get into it.
But before you even get into it, I want to just preface this whole conversation, because in our last podcast, people seem to think that I like bully you. And I'm like, if you guys know Julius, though, he is not a person to be bullied.
Yeah,
so,
she don't be bullying me. She definitely doesn't bully me. Destiny is, I just like to, you know, she has like a strong opinion. So when she gives her opinion, it's like, you know, it's like it makes you really think like, damn, like,
you never listen to my opinion though.
That's because you give your opinion sometimes too much.
I feel like just because it's my opinion, or you always do this where sometimes if I tell you something, you always be like, I know. Like he always has to act like he already knew that.
Majority of the time, I already know. It's Destiny just trying to clarify because she wants to be the big dog and be like, this is why this is that, and I'll be like, I know.
Okay, and so do you feel bullied by me?
Nah, hell, babe, come on.
Like, actually.
Nah, I really don't feel. I feel like you're my wife. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna, if I'm doing something dumb, like, or like you find something that I'm doing is like kind of like off, or you're like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna call me out for it. And yeah. You're not gonna bully me like, like, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be like, babe, what? Like,
when I feel a way about something, it's really hard for me to like hold my tongue and not say how I feel with you.
Yeah.
Especially because I just know how Julius is. So behind like every single opinion of his or, you know, thing, I don't know, any action he does.
Thinks she knows me.
No, I do know you.
Should we put her to the test?
I know you. That's why I know you say that I don't like your new opinion that you've changed to, but it's not that I don't like it. It's that it's actually frustrating because of your pattern.
Okay, well, let's talk about it. All right. So basically the other day, I don't know. I think it's just been kind of
I opened up the can of worms, to be honest. I think.
Yeah. Destiny definitely, I don't even know what she means by that, but
when we were in the bathroom and I randomly like just asked you, do you ever miss Calabasas?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So if you don't know, we lived in California. Like, if you're new to this podcast and everything, we actually just moved to Texas about like 4 months ago, maybe a little bit longer than that, 5 months ago.
Right before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, right before. Yeah, probably like around like 5 months ago. Wow, it's crazy because it doesn't even seem that long. But 5 months ago.
3 months, babe. You're rushing it. We moved to the end of November, literally 3rd. Like a week before.
Babe, it's already, that's like 5 months.
November to December to January to February. And now we're barely about to hit 4 months. We still haven't. We still need weeks more.
Okay, well, 4 months. I like to count it by like just when, you know what I'm saying, the months. Like it's the 4th month of the new year and we moved 2 months previous of last year.
It's not the 4th month of the new year. We're in March. It's the 3rd.
Oh, I'm tripping. Okay, so it's the 3rd. Well, you guys get the gist of what I'm saying. Basically, we just moved to Texas. We came from California, Los Angeles area, specifically Calabasas, and that was like our last area of living. And you know, Destiny asked me the other day, "Do I miss it?" And I was just sitting there thinking, like, wow, I really, 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 really miss California.
I got the feeling when I asked him that, we had both been thinking that for maybe a few weeks and just hadn't said it to each other.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because we were both in the bathroom. Like, we weren't even talking. He was in his closet. I was, like, brushing my teeth or, like, doing my makeup or something. And then I just randomly looked over to him. I said, do you ever miss Calabasas? And what was your response?
I was like, honestly, babe, yes, I do miss Calabasas. And I'm not going to lie, one of these days, not one of these days soon, but one of these days, like in our future, near future, I honestly do want to end up moving back to California. But it doesn't have to be like in Calabasas or anything like that. Like for me, I'm more of like, I want to live out the way, kind of, not all up in the mix.
That's what he said when he wanted to move here.
Yeah, but it's a little bit different here. Like I'm not like from here, or I'm not even from California, but it's just kind of like where I molded my younger adult self and stuff. So I know like all my places to go. I have my like group of friends out there. Yeah, I'm like super familiar and comfortable. Plus, I'm not comfortable at the point out there where it's like, okay, I'm comfortable, I'm gonna chill. It's like I'm comfortable with my surroundings and everything, but at the same time, I'm super, super, super motivated to work and like to be on my business stuff out there.
Okay. Did you always feel that way? When you first moved to California, you moved by yourself.
No,
he knew not a single person.
Yeah, I didn't know anybody.
Literally nobody. And just up and moved by himself into a studio apartment. Did you like it immediately?
I honestly, so I didn't like it immediately, obviously, but I was a young kid. But
So
like,
how long did it take for you to like it?
it took me a while, but this situation is a lot different
Oh,
than that.
I'm not comparing. I'm just asking, what was it when you first moved there?
When I first moved there, I was by myself. I didn't know anybody. I didn't literally have anything going for myself. Nothing. Like, I built everything from ground zero, scratch.
So how many months was it where you were like, okay, I'm not really liking it? And did you ever consider moving back? And then when did you finally start liking it?
So I was like, so basically when I moved there, I liked it right away because there was literally everything to do. You can go to the mountains and snowboard. You can go literally mountain biking. I would go mountain biking, that type of stuff that is just outside of like normal things that I would normally do. And I liked it right away. But the hard thing was just I didn't have like any type of income like to support myself in anything that I wanted to do out there. So I was having to kind of budget and do things on, certain levels, or like maybe sometimes I'll have to eat or like not eat out and have to go grocery shopping, or like, what I'm saying, just kind of budget myself. And,
Okay,
even then, I
uh-huh.
still loved it. Like,
Babe, you told me there was a point where you didn't like it.
no, I obviously, like, that's what I mean. So there's pros and there's cons, but there's a lot of the pros that outweigh the cons out there. So like, I know I said that it's like there's a lot of bad
How
stuff that
long did it
happens.
take you to like it?
It took me about like probably like for me to actually fall in love with it and like, really love it. I'll say probably about like 6 months.
Okay.
6 months, just because it took me a little bit to get into like, I was scared to get out of my comfort zone and really like go out. And, I wasn't really the like best at talking to people at the time. So it was like, I was,
Scary.
yeah, I was scared to get out and like, I was trying to model and stuff. So I was scared to talk to brands and, get my name out there and stuff like that. So once I kind of got out that comfort zone and I was like, man, I'm about to just try everything, and just literally tried everything. That's when I really started to like it, because, it opens your eyes. There's so much more stuff to do. Like, if you want to work out, it's not just going to the gym. You can go to a little mountain or something and hike it. And, there's just little things out there that is like, I don't know. But I do definitely miss California.
Okay, so what you just described, do you see any comparisons about what you just said to how you're feeling now? Like, for example, not to that level, because obviously you're in a way different situation in your life than you were back then.
Yeah.
But since we've moved here to Texas, it's only been a few months. We haven't fully given it a full shot yet. We haven't gone to do much of anything at all because we're kind of limited of the places we can go and the things we can do because we have a young son.
Yep, true.
Number one. And number two, since it was a lot on us moving to a whole different state and buying a house and just like completely changing our life, we also were in a point in our lives where we were trying to budget as well. So we're not like just trying to go out and like how we used to in California. We would just be traveling all the time, going everywhere, doing whatever we wanted, like shopping every day, all of this stuff. So do you see any comparisons to what you just said? Like you said, you had to budget, and so you weren't like doing a lot, and that kind of made you didn't talk to many people.
Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of has like it kind of relates, but at the same time, it's a lot different now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm older, and I feel like for me, I can fit in and feel comfortable wherever I really want to. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, California is like a home type place. It's like, it just feels super homey to me. I don't know what it is, but like when I'm there, I just feel like super motivated because I got either some of my friends over here starting businesses, or like I may go to the gym and meet somebody that, that has like a good business going, and it like, just motivation and stuff around her. You may just see like cars and just, just certain things that motivate you. I just feel like Los Angeles or like California in whole is just kind of ahead of time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like
So
it's just like
you knew all that before,
ahead.
right?
No, I didn't know that. I just wanted to test the waters out of coming to Texas, seeing how it's like, seeing how we like it, seeing how it is to purchase a property, and just it's like an experience of life. You just have to kind of go through these type of things.
Okay, so now I'm just gonna ask you point blank period. What is it that you don't like about Texas? And be honest, you don't like it anymore.
No, I do actually like Texas. That's where she's getting me wrong. I like Texas. Texas is cool. I like the weather because it's super bipolar, and it's like, you don't know, it might rain today and like tomorrow might be sunny. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like that.
Okay, with all that being said, what is it exactly that you no longer really like about Texas?
So don't get me wrong. I actually do still like Texas. Like, there's nothing really wrong with Texas. It's just that, Texas is cool, but I feel like it's more like chill and laid back, which that's what we wanted, but it might be a little bit too laid back and chill. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's only so much stuff that you can do. And we aren't at the like time of our life where we're super, super traveling right now, just because, we have COA. We don't really have like a lot of people close to us over here. And, we're just not traveling and stuff, which that's like a main reason why we were here, was to like travel and go places and stuff like that, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I think.
So it's just a little bit too slow paced for you.
It's not slow paced. It's just that like I don't know. It's not the same as California. Like, California is home, I feel like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just not California. Like, California is more, I feel like, ahead of time. There's a lot of stuff to do out there, and there's like it's just like a lot of different stuff,
a lot of different stuff,
like a variety of like, you might see somebody with a mohawk that's lime green and pink walking down the street, and I swear to God, that'll be completely normal. Like, it'll be so normal that like people will look like, oh, that's cool, nice little haircut. Like, oh, I probably seen that like last week on Hollywood Boulevard or something. Mm-hmm. If you seen that out here, it's over. That's going on everywhere. Just viral.
Okay, now for me, I don't want this conversation to come across as like I'm so pro Texas and like never want to move, and he's like so California. And
but I'm not. But
whatever.
Wait, babe, before you go further, I just want to let it be known, I still actually really, really like Dallas. I'm just saying that like I can see myself in the future, and like our family in the future really like settling down 100% in California, like settling down and the kids going to school and us continuing our careers and everything in California.
Okay.
I think
I can appreciate that. So from my point of view, I honestly, when we were first even discussing moving, I have always said from the beginning, like, I don't even know if I've said it on the podcast, but you guys can probably go back and watch our podcast and see how we talked about our whole lead up to moving and then like when we got here and everything. But initially, before we moved, I always actually wanted to move to Orange County. Yeah. That was where I saw myself living, and that was like my dream of what I always wanted to do. I wanted to move to Orange County to raise my kids, etc. But Julius was the main proponent of moving to Texas.
Yeah, I was.
So I was, on board. I thought, okay, yeah, it's something new to try out. Might as well do it while Koa's young. And I mean, I didn't have any reason not to want to do it. So we came, and honestly, I like it. I don't really have anything that I don't like about it so far at all. Like, I'm very much so a homebody, and I really enjoy a slower pace. So that's not really an issue for me. But yeah, of course, I do still love California. I love that you can just go to the beach, and obviously my mom's there. I miss her so much. My cousin Jasmine, who's like my best friend, I miss her a lot. So those things I do miss. But the only thing that's frustrating for me is that Julius, if you know
I knew she
him,
was gonna say this.
This has been like every single place we've ever moved, or literally anything we even do. He gets so into the idea of something and like just sees all the positive about it, and it's like black or white. Like if he gets into the idea of I want to move to Texas, then it's like California is awful and Texas is amazing.
Yeah,
And then
'cause you
if he
gotta
gets
look
into
at
the
stuff like
idea
that.
of he wants to move back to California, it's like Texas is horrible, boring, da da da, and California is just amazing. Like forgets about all the
No,
other
I still
things.
remember about all the bad things. Like I know there's a lot of like for instance, the living expenses is very, very high out there. Just the taxes, like there's a lot of negative stuff about it, but definitely the pros outweigh the cons. Like
Well,
literally,
also put it this way, if we were to be moving back to California, we would sell our house and we would go back to California and rent a house that's more expensive than the
that's
house that we own,
okay, that's 100% true.
and would be a downgrade.
That's not a downgrade. Not a
Yes.
downgrade. Definitely not a downgrade because there's a lot of well, now on the market, I've been looking, especially for our price range and stuff. There's a lot of nice, really nice houses. But like, I feel like for us, obviously, yeah, it's nice that we own this house, right? It's super nice that we own this house. But I feel like now that we own this house, we have to think of like everything. So, right, we have an empty backyard. Our empty backyard, the way we want to do it, is gonna cost anywhere from 300,000 to 500,000 to make it how we want to do it with a crazy sanctuary.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
another thing. Julius wanted to move to Texas. A huge reason was because he
Yeah.
wanted a huge backyard to put a basketball court in.
Yeah, true.
And now we have a whole acre of land that is literally just dirt that we're not using.
Yeah, and like some of the quotes that we get for like a pool and all this stuff, it just kind of like makes me in my head think like, okay, cool. Yeah, we're gonna put this much into the backyard. Now, if we want to sell it, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be hard to get that money back. Or if we want to stay here, you know what I'm saying, later on, it's kind of like a thing of, is this our dream home, and is this really where we want to go crazy and make our sanctuary backyard, or do we want to actually figure out like our like permanent location where Cole is going to go to school, where our other kids, when we start having more kids, go to school and stuff, and then we put down a big chunk of money on our house, like a dream house that maybe has already everything done, or maybe it's in a location that is prime for us, and
I understand that, babe. Like I'm completely on board with all that. But my thing is that when you wanted this house, you wanted it specifically for this big plot of land to put a basketball court in.
I know that.
When we could have gotten still a nice size plot of land, not as big, and like a crazy, an even more beautiful house in a better area that had a lot more going on, that was,
that's
a lot more fast paced, like you like, and that you would have probably liked more. So
yeah, no, we could have done
still that option as well.
Yeah, there is.
But we just have to think, if moving forward, I feel like the only thing that I'm trying to get across to you is not to think so black and white about everything, and to really think of how you're going to actually like it, which obviously you have to try things out to know if you're going to like it. So I know that's hard to say, but I don't know. It's just, it's for me, it's a little bit frustrating that you like get this idea in your head and go so strong for it, and then you end up not liking it, and then it's like, okay, well,
no, but it's life though. Like literally, if I wasn't like this, I promise you my life would not be how it is. Like I promise you, I would have been in a shell of just following one path and one path only. I feel like it kind of like me knowing that, like I can kind of still adapt and stuff. It makes me, it makes me like, understand everything a little bit better.
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, I think it's a huge blessing. I think of it as a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing in that you are not afraid to start over. Like no matter what happens in your life, if all else fails, you're not afraid to figure out another plan and keep going. And he's not going to feel defeated and like let it hold him back. He's going to get up and he's going to try something new. He's going to figure it out and he's going to go into it with so much confidence. Like, okay, like we're starting over and I'm excited for this new start. I'm not looking back to the past, whatever. And you're really good at adjusting to change, but it's also a curse because I feel like it gets you in a state of you're never content in where you are at in the moment. You're always thinking of where you will be or where you were at before instead of just living in that present moment and appreciating it and being content. And also we also are in a phase in our life where we need to have more stability. It's obviously fun to be able to just move houses all the time and just switch it up and everything. But at some point, Koa is going to be going to school and we don't want him to be like having to change schools all the time. So we need to be able to provide that stability. So obviously right now, since he's still young, it's a good time to try things out and not be afraid to move. But
that's what I'm saying though. Like, it's either we stay here and he starts at school, and then once he starts at school, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna be stuck here. So, cause I know as a child, I wouldn't want to start going to school and then like just switching. You know what I'm saying? Especially switching to a whole different state, cause that's like a very big and like hard thing for as a child to go through.
I had to do that actually.
Yeah, that's like very, very hard. So. I feel like we definitely need to figure out what we're going to do in the future. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm content in the moment, but I just always like to know like, okay, what is our plan? Like, because you have to have a plan when it comes down to that type of stuff. So like we came here, we tried it out.
It's been 3 months.
No, I know. I'm not saying that we tried it out, but I'm just saying, no, I'm saying like eventually, like we tried it out, but I'm saying like we can try to have a routine, but it's just so hard because the things that we want to do, it's harder for us to do out here.
A big thing is that we're both feeling homesick. Like it may not seem like it. You guys may not think I am because I'm like just thinking of the opposite side of like, oh, I like Texas, but I'm also very homesick and also miss California, not only because of my mom and my cousin, but also I do miss the routine that we did have out there. Like towards the end, before we moved back when we lived in Calabasas, we started to get on a really good routine. I was going to Pilates like all throughout the week. He would go to Equinox all the time.
Every day I was going to the gym. Every single morning at 6 a.m. I was going to the gym.
Yeah, we had a really good routine going. We had our spots, our grocery store. Like we had everything we really needed. It was so beautiful to go on our walks. We just missed that, I think, versus out here, we don't have immediate access to like Pilates or the gym, but I think that's more so of the area that we chose to live.
Yeah, that's true, but babe, I promise you, it's not even about like the access and stuff. It's just more of like it's a vibe type
well
thing.
You also
like,
don't have like your basketball league that was a big part of your life.
Yeah,
you
that
did
was a
every
big
week.
part. Yeah, playing basketball. We don't have any of
those like extra things that we enjoyed and kind of like get you through your week, really.
Yeah, for sure. That, but also I'm talking about just like when we're chilling, when we're barbecuing and stuff like that. It's a vibe. But when we were in California, it was like a vibe. Like every single time, like anything, like even if we're in traffic and we're driving for a long time, it's like a vibe, you know what I'm saying?
Now all of a sudden traffic out there's a vibe.
Traffic out
there. Go
there.
back to the last episode.
But I'm saying like, no, traffic is horrible out there. Like it's the worst thing ever out there. But at the same time, like there may be times like, for instance, I would go golfing or something. And maybe I would golf like an hour away and drive home would probably be like an hour and a half back or an hour and 15 minutes back. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling. I'm relaxed. I'm listening to music. You know, it's just a different type of vibe in California. I can't explain it. It's just I miss California. When I was a kid, I really, 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 really wanted to live in California. Like that was the biggest thing to me, living in California. I'm not sure if like if you're watching this and like a big like dream of yours was to move to California as like a child, like, you know, I feel like everybody wants to.
Something that everybody,
bro, like that's big. Like everything that's advertised on TV when I was a child and stuff was in California, like Disneyland. Then you got rappers and stuff in California that, like, you know, as a child you're like, oh, that's filthy, like, you know, they're in California. And then you just got like these crazy homes that you see on the internet, and you know, the beach, just it's just like a thing.
Crazy homes that you can only afford if you're a billionaire.
But it's still cool. Like, it's still cool to be able to drive by those houses and be like, whoa, like this is where, you know what I'm saying, Jay-Z lives, or, you know, just different vibes. I feel like the vibe is just different out there. And as a kid, I would watch 90210, and I would definitely want to live in California. So
I loved that show too.
It's a vibe. But babe, I think that's enough talking about that. You guys will get the full update of what we're going to be doing in the near future.
We're definitely not moving anytime soon.
Not
I will tell you
soon.
That much.
Yeah. So
we're
babe,
staying here for a bit.
To go off of this, so California, obviously, it had like a lot of traffic, and it was like anywhere we go, it was like pretty hectic. Well, not super hectic, but there was like, you know, you always kind of got to watch over your shoulder and stuff like that. And it would cause a lot of anxiety, right? Mm-hmm. So like, you know, or even like,
it's crazy that you're saying this.
Traveling or something, anxiety, it would cause a lot of anxiety. And, you know, I was checking a couple things, podcast, Instagram. If you guys don't follow us on Instagram, go follow us, and you guys can DM us anything. And we promise, if you guys want to keep it anonymous, you guys can keep it anonymous or whatever. But there was somebody talking about how she gets very, very, very bad anxiety, and like it's hard for her to deal with it in like certain situations. Like, you know, sometimes she's at the mall and she'll get super bad anxiety to the point where she wants to like feel like nauseous and like feel like she has to throw up and stuff. And you know, I just think it's kind of crazy because everybody has different anxiety levels, and I want to know how you like handle your anxiety when you get anxiety, you know?
That's a really good question. So for me, I think I've talked about this before, but I do personally really struggle with anxiety. But honestly, like one of the things that I like about Texas is that I don't feel it as much here.
Yeah, because
like I haven't felt really anxious out here.
Yep.
Since I moved here, like I can't really remember the last time I just felt overwhelmingly anxious. But back in California, for some reason, I did a lot of times. And I don't even know how to explain the feeling. It just kind of feels like everything is like everything's kind of just crashing in your world, and you're just like, you just get like hot, and I don't know, it's the weirdest thing, and I hate that feeling. But I guess the way that I cope is I just need time to like wind down. Like that's why I'm such a person who I need my alone time. And that's why I always say that I don't mind the fact that I don't have like a lot of friends, because I really, really enjoy my own peace. Okay. So for me, just taking time to just be in my own thoughts, and just like, so when I'm like cleaning and I just have like background noise on, and I'm just in my own head. Like even when I drive in the car, people probably think this is weird, but like I do not listen to music at all.
Destiny doesn't even like have like a favorite music artist that I could just be like, yep, I'm about to put this on, and Destiny's about to jam to it. Like
music gives me anxiety.
That's crazy.
That's like unpopular opinion. That's not an opinion. It's just a fact about me. But music gives me anxiety, and it's crazy because so many people love music. It gets them through their car rides, their day,
workouts.
Workouts.
I don't even know how you can work out and not listen to any music. Like that's kind of crazy.
Me, I don't like, obviously I like music, but I'm not like a huge music person. It really kind of stresses me out. I don't like loud noise and just like a lot going on. Like sometimes he'll have music playing in the morning on the TV.
Hella loud.
And then like Koa will be banging pots and being all loud and the dogs are barking and I'll be like freaking out in my head and then I'll like turn everything off and just need a moment of silence.
Literally like the TV will be, Destiny will be like, turn the TV down, start turning it down, and then like the music's playing all like quiet and stuff. But babe, honestly,
because you'll have it at like level 50.
But I don't know how you can go like running or something and not listen to music.
Oh, I can't go running like, regardless.
I'm just saying that like, babe, like when you want to go run on a treadmill or something, how do you like just not listen to music?
I'll listen to like a podcast or
you gotta
like
listen to something because when you start like hearing your heartbeat and stuff, it like messes me up. Like it will make me want to stop running.
I don't hear my heartbeat.
Well, if you're running fast, you know what I mean. Like if you're a runner out there, you know what I mean. You know, if you keep running, your heart starts beating. Or maybe it's just me.
I like more like just calm conversations or
okay. She's tripping. Like I want to turn up. I gotta listen to NBA YoungBoy or something like that. For real.
Well, I mean, I do watch my little reality TV as well. That's a little chaotic.
For a workout.
Well, when I'm like,
okay, I don't know what type of stuff.
Well, when I'm doing like a 12-3-30, which is like the fast jog on the treadmill, not jog, a fast walk.
I don't know what that is, babe.
That's
12-3-30.
12-3-30 is 12 incline, 3 speed for 30 minutes on the treadmill.
Okay. Oh, okay. So she got her stuff going over there. Okay. So, babe.
Wait, actually, it's crazy that you said that though, because I have something that I have down here in my little notes that I wanted to talk about. And it's somebody asked, did you ever encounter places where you suddenly feel anxiety every time you are there? And it got me thinking because one time somebody mentioned to me something called astrocartography. So I know a lot of people are into
what that. I've never even heard that word.
I'm going to explain it to you. I don't know much about it.
Astrocartography.
Yeah, something like that. So a lot of people are into astrology, right? Like everybody's into their moon sign, their sun sign, rising sign, all of that goodness. But astrocartography is basically based off of the time and the day and all that you were born and the place, different locations in the world on the map, you are better suited to. Literally. So like I looked mine up.
Cap.
Babe, it's true. Do you want to?
I think that's cap. I think you're suited for wherever you're going to. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get suited and booted, you can get suited and booted and go there.
Well, do you want to hear what mine is about Dallas and LA?
Yeah, let me hear it.
But I thought it's bullcrap.
No, but I want to hear it though.
Why do you want to know?
Cause I'm just curious. But I you know what I'm saying? I think that I don't know, babe.
You don't even believe in astrology either.
I do, but I just think that, you know what I'm saying, sometimes.
Okay, so California is close to my Mercury line. So it says this would be a good place for intellectual stimulation, communication, expression, social activity, as well as creativity and connections. Is that not literally true about California?
Yeah, but they already know that's Los Angeles. It's like,
no, it's not only Los Angeles. It's that whole line on the map. Like even honest.
Yeah, but they know that's like.
Do you want to know one of the best places to live nearby, closer to where you live, or closer to like Seattle? That's a really good spot for me.
Yeah, it's because it's it's nature.
Babe, but it's different for everybody. So listen,
we're all connected to nature. You got to go walk out there and talk to nature and just walk barefoot.
I don't know. So Dallas, this is what grounding. Dallas says about me. One time I actually read deep into it because I wanted to know exactly how Dallas was going to be for us. This was when we first moved here. And I didn't tell you because it wasn't so positive what I read.
Let's hear this. Uh-oh. Okay, so you guys hear it. Destiny's leaning more towards Los Angeles.
No, just listen. Well, this is just a short little thing, but it says about Dallas. This could be a place that is good for energy, drive, and ambition, but can be frustrating and lead to triggering anger, inflammation, and burnout in the long run. Burnout.
Okay. And
one time when I was reading deeper into it, it basically said that it would not be the best place for us.
Okay.
Or for me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it's probably not the best. I mean, wherever Destiny's going,
in the long
that's
run, though.
where like my happy place is. You know what I'm saying? So wherever she's happy at, I can be happy there. But I just know for a fact, like 110,000% fact, that if we lived in Orange County, or when we eventually do move to Orange County, Destiny's gonna be in like place in her life where she's ecstatically happy. One, because her mom's gonna be close to her, and her and her mom.
Now.
Yeah, I know you're really happy now, but I'm just saying, like, you're gonna feel like you're at that point of life where, wow, Cole is gonna be starting school. You know, you may be pregnant again. You know, we may be at that point in life where it's like, wow, like we're ecstatically happy. We're in California. We're close to your mom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so since you want to move again eventually, do you want to wait then? I think maybe we should wait to have our next kid till we move. So
yeah, I feel like they're
going to be a little bit farther apart than we had originally hoped.
Yeah, but honestly, like when it all comes down to all this moving stuff, I think that, you know, God has a plan for us, and we kind of like, it's good to test the waters out. It's good to get outside of our comfort zone and come try this out. And you know what I'm saying? Because like we said in the beginning, we can always go back. You know what I'm saying? You can always go back to California if you need to.
Yeah, well, once we're there, we're there. I'm not moving again.
We're there.
So,
me neither. But
because I'm not just going to keep moving states. That's a lot of work, you guys.
That is a lot of work. But back to the anxiety. Somebody, back what I was saying, like with the girl talking about, she gets like very nauseous and stuff with her anxiety. I wanted to kind of tie in on that because I was like at a point in my life where every single morning I would wake up, and I kid you not, I would literally feel sick. Like I had to throw up. And it was, Destiny would always be like, because you smoke a lot. You need to smoke in the morning. Da, 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 da. That's what she would always say. And I'm tired of hearing that because that's false. It would just be, I would wake up in the morning and I would just like already have so much anxiety because I'm just thinking about everything that I need to do throughout the day, or maybe I forgot to do something so I have to catch up on something, and it would make me feel sick, and I would literally throw up to the point
he would
where
wake
it was
up
like
every morning at 5 a.m. and throw up.
Literally every single morning, and it was like crazy to the point where I was like, bro, what is going on? Anytime we got to the airport, I swear to God, my anxiety would go crazy. Like the night before I knew we had a plane ride, it would be over. Like I would literally be debating, like, babe, I don't know if we can go on this trip. Like, I don't think I can do the morning.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, babe, you're in denial, but when did that all start? That never used to happen before. He never really suffered with anxiety.
Yeah.
And I'm a strong believer in that smoking, it's supposed to like treat anxiety, but really it causes it, because when you go through those little withdrawals when you need to smoke, you're gonna have horrible anxiety. I even experienced it because there was a period of time where I used to smoke like every single day. Now I don't, but there was a time where I did, and if I would be like didn't smoke the whole day and it's 4 p.m. like I'm not feeling good and it's bad. So you definitely went through that.
Nah, but that's why you do smoke. You know what I'm saying? You smoke, but
no, you don't need to rely on it. Though.
Nah, but not rely on it. But you know what I'm saying? If you do like smoke and you do smoke a lot, like that's cool.
One day,
there's nothing against it.
One day, like you're gonna like wake up from all this and you're gonna be like, whoa, I can't believe how different everything is.
Woke up from all of this. What is she talking about?
You know what I'm talking about.
She's over here talking. Okay, look.
He's in denial about it and doesn't understand the effects.
I don't know if you smoke. If you're watching this and you smoke, I don't know if you smoke, but if you do have somebody that smokes in your life, you know what I'm saying? Don't be Destiny saying I'm gonna wake up. Like I'm already woke. I might be a little bit more woke
from. You're not woke from the effects that it's actually having on you, because
comes the astrology.
They're subtle.
And stuff.
They're subtle.
All right, babe, I get it. I know what you're saying, but all I'm saying is like, you know, I feel like that's just all in like like somebody's perspective. You know, if that's how you want to look at things, that's how you're gonna look at it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But if you want to smoke and you want to go be a billionaire, you're gonna smoke and be. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying it's gonna hold you back from anything you want to do, but I'm just saying it does have little effects on your daily life.
Yeah, definitely. Like obviously, like just like coffee. You know, you may go to
for sure.
Starbucks
I'm addicted to coffee
every single day, and if you don't have your Starbucks that day, you know what I'm saying, you may feel a little bit off. You know,
what is that, a personal attack? Cool. I don't go to Starbucks every day.
Hey, all I gotta say is shout out to all my people out there who celebrate 420, you know what I'm saying? I love you guys. You know, we are a community.
The real reason he wants to move back to California, right there, revealed.
A lot of people can relate to what I'm saying, though. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you live in California, or you know what I'm saying, if you guys just like to have some fun, and you know what I'm saying, you 420 friendly, you know, we're a community. Me and you. Destiny, sometimes she be hating on the community, but it's cool though.
I do not.
It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. So, babe, I have a serious question, right? This is like a kind of like a makes you think question. Would you rather be the richest person with some health problems or the healthiest person with a lot of money problems? That's a good question. You don't gotta tell me.
I guess that's horrible. It depends. How severe are the health problems? Are they like little minor problems?
No, like
or
you just have like little health problems that are
like what, like asthma?
I don't know. It's just little health problems that may, like, you know what I'm saying, interfere with like some of the things that you want to do. Like maybe you might not be able to go play basketball or this or that, you know what I'm saying? Or do what you want to do in your everyday life with all that money, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or would you rather be super healthy to the point where it's like, whoa, like you're super healthy, like you pee crystal clear water, you know what I'm saying, like you're healthy, your bowel movements are good, your blood sugar levels, everything is like ecstatically great, but you know what I'm saying, you aren't the best, like doing the best financially, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think health honestly is just, it's such an important thing.
Yep.
Like you can't buy that. That's just something
100%.
But it does depend, because I don't know if they're little health problems or big ones. I might, if there's something small, I might choose the money. Yeah, if they're big, I'll definitely.
It's gonna interfere in your lifestyle, so you know what I'm saying. You gotta think of that.
I saw something that said, the guy asked, "Would you rather have $1 million and?" I don't know, something. What was it? It was like, would you rather have $1 million, or $10 million, but not want to wake up tomorrow?
I know. I see what you're talking about. And it's like, yeah, I would rather have $10 million, whatever, or I would rather wake up tomorrow. Well, then why don't you think like that every day? Yeah, I know what you're talking about, babe.
Well, that's true.
You know I be sharing that stuff.
Yeah, I think I heard you watching it, actually.
Yeah, she probably seen me watching it.
It's so true that just waking up every single day is literally the biggest blessing.
Yeah, it's valuable.
The most important thing, something that we each take for granted every single day. I remember when I got really sick when I was pregnant, when I had to stay in the hospital for the week, I got such a different perspective on life during that time, because you guys, it was so bad for me that I had like this awakening where one day, basically, I was trying to walk to the bathroom to use it. It was literally like 5 feet away. I just had to get off the little bed. It was still in the same room, and walk to the bathroom. And I literally could not make it to the bathroom without gasping for air. I had to not run, because I couldn't even run. I could barely breathe. I had to go back to the bed and get back on the oxygen mask because I couldn't even make it to use the bathroom. And it was this crazy feeling of, whoa, I've taken for granted all these years of just being able to wake up, walk to the bathroom, take a shower. I remember the first time I was able to take a shower after I had that whole period of being sick, I was like, oh my gosh. I couldn't breathe still during that time. So it was horrible.
It was like very, very tough, because even for me, I was sitting there like, damn, like she's super, super sick. and like she was pregnant. And that was a long, long process. If you guys don't know, Destiny got pneumonia. Well, we both caught COVID. I caught COVID first. And then this was like when COVID was like just like kind of not just coming out.
It was kind of in the middle of it.
It was in the middle of it, yeah. And we both caught it. But hers was super severe because she got pneumonia from it. And like me, I'm super dramatic when I'm sick. So I was sick, but I was not as sick as her. And she was like, I thought she was being dramatic at first because she was like, babe, I can't breathe. Da, da, da. So I'm just thinking like, man, she's over here BSing me. And then like it really came down to it to like she really couldn't breathe. So she caught pneumonia and she was in the hospital. And I was at home like just getting over a sickness in this. We had a huge house at the time in like the Hollywood Hills. So I was in the house, 3 stories. I was scared by myself in the house. I'm over there worrying about Destiny. I'm still getting over COVID. Like it was a long, long, crazy process. But when I look at stuff like that, like when I look back at things like that, it makes me realize like, damn, we can basically do anything because like we've been through a lot of stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? That right there was something that we had to come together. Like me and you had to literally come together and understand like, okay, you have pneumonia. You're very sick because pneumonia is like very big. Like you can like literally die from it.
Yeah.
And that was like something that I was super scared of. And that's like, you know, what the doctors and stuff were saying that it's
Plus,
like,
I was super pregnant at the time. I was already in my 3rd trimester.
Yeah. So that like, it makes me realize and just look back at like, wow, like we can do anything. We can get through anything because that was like a super hard part of our life. Plus, at the same time, we were having house problems in the new house that we got. So we were trying to figure out what we were going to do about that situation. And it was a lot of stuff going on. And if you guys don't know, me and Destiny, we had a miscarriage before we had Koa. So that was also like at the top of the list of stressfulness. You know what I'm saying? Like she had pneumonia, she was super pregnant, and we had previously just lost our previous pregnancy. So it was like a crazy, crazy time for us. And you know what I'm saying? I feel like that is like a thing that can like make and just build and, you know, make us so much stronger.
It's crazy because I feel like people, they know our life, but they don't really. Like they don't know the most personal, intimate things that we've been through together. Yeah. There's some crazy things like that. Have we ever told them the story about when you proposed to me?
No, we haven't
before.
There's so much stuff that we can tell you guys. Like honestly, there's a lot of like, I feel like a lot of the drama, crazy stuff that goes on in our life, we don't really even bring to the camera. You know what I'm saying? Like when we had the miscarriage, we didn't really like.
We didn't talk about it for a while.
Yeah, we didn't, you know what I'm saying? We didn't talk about it for a long, long time just because like that type of stuff is like very, very personal and it's deep for us. So I feel like, well, me personally, I'm not the type of person to just tell anybody any of my feelings because I like to, you know, be to myself about that.
Well, I feel like we both kind of shut down when we're going through something.
Yeah, true.
Me included. When I'm feeling really sad or down or going through something, I literally I can't function. Like I won't answer anybody's phone calls. I can't talk to anybody. I will just lay there and just be sad and like, I don't know, watch a show that makes me happy or something. So I really tend to shut down. So like when we went through the miscarriage, I didn't answer anybody's calls for weeks, and everybody was so concerned because like my immediate family knew about it, but like I didn't want to talk to anybody at all. Even when I was in the hospital sick, didn't answer anybody's calls.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? That whole miscarriage situation, that stuff, especially like that was our first pregnancy. That was like literally like, it was just crazy to us because, you know what I'm saying, everything can go so good and then in the snap of a finger, everything can just be like, whoa, what is happening? Like, Destiny just started bleeding out of nowhere. Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's just like an eye-opening experience. I feel like that type of stuff like really can, make you strong, and it can, build you. But I remember going through that. That was stressful. I remember every single day I was in the room. Like she said, we weren't talking to nobody. I had people calling me, just like random, just like friends and stuff. I was not answering. I was trapping myself in my little room, my game room, and I was, what I'm saying, I had backwoods in there, and I was just backwood after backwood after backwood after backwood. You know what I'm saying?
And you know who was my little comfort?
Diggy.
I could not get out of bed for an entire month, guys, and Diggy laid with me in bed that whole month and would not leave my side.
Yeah, we were
still
inside.
To this day, like, he knows when I'm sad. If I'm sad, he's the first person to know, and he comes by me and starts crying. I love him.
He don't start crying.
Yes,
She's
he does.
Over
No,
here
he does. He goes like this.
No,
babe, I swear to you, he does. Do you think I'm making it up? He does that.
He don't be doing all that, but he definitely does come cuddle her.
He does that.
I don't know about the crying.
Oh my
you
God.
guys know how girls be. They be kind of dramatic, And if you're a girl watching that, I know you be
Julius,
a little bit dramatic as well.
Okay.
Not gonna lie.
Anyway, so this is a whole different, we're going to go way more lighthearted now.
Let's get lighthearted then.
Okay, this is a little Ask Men question.
Well, then ask me then, shorty.
How many dates would you pay for before asking her to split the bill?
Honestly, I'm a very, very, very good gentleman, and I'm a very good man, and I'm honestly probably not even going to ask at all.
Julius, I'm talking about... Okay, now you're in a different phase of your life where you got it like that. But how about back before?
Before, I might not even pay for the meal. Psych, I'm just joking. No.
You might say the chalupa's too expensive.
Yeah, hey, Destiny and me, we used to be on a budget. One time I got mad at her because she wanted to order a chalupa from Taco Bell when we were supposed to be off the dollar menu. That shit was like $4.20. So, but yeah, I think I would probody like, if I don't know. That's a great question.
Well,
probably
anyways,
like right away.
In the comments, somebody was saying they were saying it's not necessarily so much about the money aspect of it. It's more so the effort and like kind of meeting halfway. I do. You know what's crazy to me?
I don't know. It's question.
Crazy to me that there's so many expectations for men and women. Men are automatically expected to pay the bill and, be like the protector, et cetera, et cetera. And women are automatically expected in the household to like run everything, basically, like all the cooking, the cleaning, the nurturing the kids, all of that. And it's crazy that even now, let's say the woman is picking up on paying some of the bill. That's looked at as something against the guy. Yeah. And let's say the guy is like the cook in the household and he's, I don't know, taking care of the kids or whatever. That's looked at as like a negative against the woman. Like she's not doing her part enough.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me. I hate that it's so
stereotypical.
Yes. It's something that really bothers me. Like I feel like there's actually a lot of pressure. I'm a woman, so I can only say from my perspective. You can probably say from yours, but I feel like there's so much expectations on women to be. No, there is. No, but I'm talking about in the mothering department.
Whoa.
And specifically in the mothering department, because guys, if you are just like a present father in your life, it's like, okay, they get an award kind of for just being a present father versus women. They can't just be present. They have to you're only considered a good mother if you're doing all the cooking, the cleaning, this, that, and yes.
No, I honestly think that being a good father, yeah, you're right about the father situation, but I feel like, being a good father is it's just you know if you're a good father. As a father, if you're a good father.
Yeah, of course. But I'm talking about society viewing people as a good mother or father?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like
if somebody sees, for example, let me just put it this way, because I know you've experienced this. If somebody sees you in public, just you and Koa, how do they treat you? They're like, people have come up to you before and been like, it's so amazing seeing you with your son. Have they not?
Nah, but like, I don't know. Me personally, nobody could tell me otherwise. I'ma stamp it. I am a great father. So
of course you
maybe
are, babe.
They're saying that because they're complimenting my fatherly instincts. Because honestly, if I could be a professional at anything in the world, I think I would be a professional father. Like I promise you, like no lie, like I'm dead ass. Like I don't know, God gifted me the great ability to be a great father, but I'm a great father, and like I enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy being a father. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I'm here on this earth to be a father. That's why me and Koa, you know what I'm saying, we got that bond over
you
here.
You are an amazing father. Babe, I'm literally, I don't want you to take this as I'm saying you're not a great father.
I know that. I get what you're saying, babe.
This isn't even about you. I'm just talking about how society, we both know how we are as parents, and we both know that we're great parents and can say for ourselves and each other that we're amazing parents. But I'm talking about how the outside world views us. People, if they just see you out in public with Koa, they're going to be like,
oh, he's a
wow,
good dad.
that's an amazing father. Because honestly, I don't know, it's just how it is. But women, they're going to kind of just think of it as like, yeah, that's just a mom with their kid.
Yeah. I mean, that's also because you got to think like girls do carry the baby for 9 months. So, you know what I'm saying? You are getting all of this like attention of people like, oh my God, like being super gentle during your pregnancy phase and stuff. So they just, I don't know, they probably already like making it like you're like the main person that's responsible because you're the one that's carrying the baby. You know what I'm saying? And you just got done carrying the baby. So like, and then also,
so that's what I'm saying. I think that there's a lot more expectations.
But also a lot of girls, they breastfeed as well. So for girls, like that's
even that, if you don't breastfeed, you're looked down upon as a mother, which is sad.
Well, no, I don't feel like that is because
People
I think that's just
that way.
No, but that's just an opinion to some people, which that opinion doesn't matter because I feel like everybody, to each his own. If you don't want to breastfeed, that's on you. Like everybody has their own type of.
Yeah, I know, but people literally, like people with me, we used to put me down like that I didn't breastfeed long enough and things like that. Like it's a real thing.
Yeah, but that's only some because but a lot of those people, they've never been in the situation of even being pregnant or having to breastfeed or this and that. So a lot of the expectations that people give out and portray upon like parents and stuff are a lot of people that don't even have kids and have never even had kids, or like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, and honestly, parenting is a whole thing. Like parenting is literally its own, like parenting is a sport, dead ass. Like you gotta be like, you kind of gotta like be ready for it. Like you can't just,
you definitely do.
Yeah, like you have to know what's going on. Like obviously you don't have to just like be like the perfect parent right away because obviously it takes time. Like being a parent is probably one of the biggest roles in life. Like
it
you
is.
have to take care.
I don't think people realize how hard it actually is.
It's actually very hard.
Remember,
but honestly,
you thought when I was pregnant, right before I even had Koa, you were like, it's going to be easy. I have brothers and sisters. Yeah, I know how it is. I'm like, it's different than having brothers and sisters.
Yeah, in that aspect, it's definitely different than having brothers and sisters. And I actually hear that all the time, like from friends and stuff that don't have babies. Like, I have brothers and sisters. And I used to say the same thing. But when you have your own child, it's completely different. The one, like the love is like crazy. Like if a fly lands on your child, you might even get mad at the fly, like type stuff like that. or you know what I'm saying? It's
right.
just
Today I was looking at Koa
different.
and I literally got sad and emotional just about the thought of the thought of one day something hurting him, like his feelings.
That ain't gonna happen, you know what I'm saying? Because
we can't protect him forever though.
But I'm gonna protect him forever, you know what I'm saying? But definitely, like, being a parent is literally the greatest thing in the world, and it opens you up. It like makes you have different characters about yourself that you never even like knew that you had, or like just different stability and different, sense. Like you're stronger. It makes you stronger. It shows you who you really are. Yeah, like it shows you who you really are. Like it makes you expand everything you need to do. Like maybe one day you may not be feeling good, and usually on that day you would probably just sleep and rest, eat soup or whatever. But you're a parent now, so you can't do that. Even though you're not feeling good, you gotta get up. You gotta make sure that your baby's fed, this and that. You gotta make sure that, you know what I'm saying?
You know what? I was thinking about this also, is that there's such a trend now for people to people kind of, I've seen not put down, but they think of, oh, I'm this age and still don't have a kid yet, and I'm going to continue like living my best life and stuff like that. And that's cool, whatever, to each their own. But if you feel that way, definitely don't have a kid yet, because 100%. Your life is completely gonna change.
Way different. Like once you have a kid, like you think you're gonna be going out and stuff like that all the time, which you probably can if you have like a babysitter. But at the same time, as a parent, me as a parent, I'm like super like, my son, he got it. Like I want him to feel like what I feel, you know what I'm saying? I want to, when I go out and stuff, I want to be able to enjoy myself and enjoy it, rather than be like, okay, cool, like, damn, I just went out yesterday and the night before, and like I'm out again, like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? Or just not being there as much as you should be, you know?
I feel like you have to be very, very selfless to be a parent.
Very selfless and very, very patient. And like everything that is in your life and all your characteristics, you gotta have more patience for sure. Like no lie, changing the diaper once like Cole's at the little toddler age where he's trying to flip around and get out and not let us change his diaper and stuff. Like that's a new set of patience you gotta learn each step. Like in the beginning, it was a patience of like, damn, like, okay, well, when's he gonna fall asleep with his bottle? Like, and then it goes into like, okay, cool, when's his next nap? Or, it's just a lot of patience for sure.
Yeah, changing the diaper is so hard.
It's hard.
That boy will have poop on his butt and flipping everywhere, and you're like trying to hold the legs. It's a lot.
We've had a couple accidents for sure.
But honestly, it's the most beautiful thing in the world, and I wouldn't change it for anything, and I want to have more kids already.
Yeah, so hey, we gonna wrap this episode up right there. You know what I'm saying? More kids coming soon. We hope you guys, more kids coming soon. And another thing, we're gonna try to expand this podcast into. I seen somebody DM us and say that they wanted like a live podcast. Like find out how we could do a live podcast. So I think I have an idea. Well, Destiny kind of came up with the idea, but I think we might be taking this podcast over to Twitch as well and doing some live podcast streams for you guys to ask us questions or give us topics to talk about, or even, react to some crazy stuff, and just basically everything that you guys want live. We will be doing. You guys can request everything. And yeah, we'll probably have more info and all that stuff in our next episode, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, baby, you got anything else you gotta say?
No, we love you guys, and we will see you on our next podcast episode.
We love y'all. Peace.